Good afternoon, everyone. Phil Penarski here with CBS 42 Now. Hope you're all having a great start to your day. Of course, today is Wednesday, which means it is yet another Weather Wednesday. We have a little bit of a different topic. We're not going to be talking about persimmons or woolly caterpillars this time. This time, we're actually going to be discussing the potential of some severe weather tonight. You know, it is a very nice day out, but as we all know, weather can change very quickly, and that's why we are once again joined by our Storm Team meteorologist, Ashley Gann, to break everything down. Ashley, thank you so much for being here. And I'm actually going to send it to you right now as we can kind of see, like I said, the weather's pretty great right now, but it could potentially turn pretty sour, specifically towards the south.
Yeah, taking a turn tonight, that's for sure, Phil. And that's really why we want to kind of break down what we're seeing, where the activity is at, and the timeline for all of this. So bear with us for the next few minutes. And if you do have any questions, be sure to post them in the comments. And Phil and myself will get to those questions. We'll try to answer those. But in the meantime, let's talk about the severe wind threat. This is going to be for today and tonight. The remainder of today, it's really East Louisiana, where we've seen quite a few tornado warnings today. And then as you move into South Mississippi and southern parts of Alabama, from Mobile Bay across the panhandle of Florida into Apalachicola, more of that slight risk for severe weather, more of a marginal category for strong winds and even some severe storms from Jackson, Mississippi, from Selma and just south of Montgomery towards Troy and into Dothan. That will be late tonight into tomorrow. So you'll notice that Birmingham and central Alabama not necessarily going to meet the severe weather criteria, but wind is going to be one of our big threats for tonight. Wind advisory is in place, although those wind speeds will likely stay below our severe weather criteria of 60 plus miles per hour, but we will have sustained winds anywhere between about 15 to 30 miles per hour with gusts upwards of 35 miles per hour. So this could easily topple some power lines. We could see some trees down as a result. So maybe some pockets of power outages possible overnight tonight with this storm system that's moving in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we do want to keep an eye on that as well. And of course, everybody can stay up to date by following us on social media or heading on over to our website, cbs42.com. Ashley and the rest of our storm team keep everything up to date there as always. You can also find out more by downloading the CBS 42 News app. It is available for free to download for all Android and iOS devices. I do want to ask everybody that is watching us on Facebook, if you have any potential questions for Ashley regarding the weather, anything you might need to know, please drop a comment there. We will try to get to as many as we can during this live stream. Ashley, I see that graphic behind you. It's really breaking down the time frames. Do you want to go over that a little bit?
Yeah, so the timeline for this storm system, and Phil, just as you mentioned at the very beginning, it's been a beautiful day. We've seen sunshine. I call these days Chamber of Commerce kind of days, but the weather will take a turn and take a turn relatively quickly upon sunset tonight in West Alabama. So this is kind of broad brush what that timeline looks like, and then I'll kind of break down a little bit more hour by hour what we're going to see. So from about 9 p.m. tonight to midnight, West Alabama will have that initial leading edge of this storm system that begins to move in. It's really kind of two fronts. There's a warm front and a cold front that are very close together. So as these fronts move across Alabama, the timeline kind of unique. We'll see what I'm calling the initial line of thunderstorms, followed by some periods of rain Thursday and into Friday. So the timeline that I have broken down right here is for that initial line. This is going to be for that leading edge. This is really where that the weather takes that quick pivot from calm and quiet to windy and rainy. So again, 9 p.m. to midnight, West Alabama, along that I-65 corridor from Coleman down towards Clanton, about midnight to 2 a.m. and then East Alabama from about 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. And we do have that weather aware in place. I do want to show you this very quickly because our future cast really kind of breaks this down for us real quick. So let me show you what we can expect on our future cast right here. This is going to be, again, kind of 11 o'clock tonight. We'll start to see those isolated thunderstorms from Hamilton down towards Tuscaloosa and all the way into the southern parts of, or really portions of western Chilton County. So this will all be just before midnight, and then that line begins to move closer to that I-65 corridor around midnight, 12, 1 to 2 a.m. It kind of pushes just to the east. So anywhere from Coleman, Birmingham, Alabaster, and Clanton, Asheville, Talladega, Alex City, that's 2 o'clock in the morning. But notice at the same time, we'll have another pulse of rain starting to make its way back into West Alabama. So again, that initial time timeline is for the leading edge, and then beyond that, that's when we're going to get more of just the wet weather. It's where this initial line is where we're going to have some pretty gusty winds, and we're also going to have some heavy pockets of rain. Notice the red arrows on your screen, though. This is going to be a quick wind. So this is actually going to be a surge of southerly flow, and that's going to create some pretty windy conditions for us as we move through the overnight hours. All right, so 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., that line moves through East Alabama and then makes its way into portions of Georgia by 5 a.m. Still going to be a lot of slick spots on the roadways early tomorrow morning. I want everyone to know you need to add a couple of extra minutes to that morning commute tomorrow. If you're dropping the kids off, they might need a jacket at the bus stop tomorrow morning. It's going to be just kind of a damp and soggy morning. So 5 a.m. you'll notice that next line makes its way through west and then into central Alabama. So that's kind of a quick timeline, and then that continues through 6 to 7 o'clock along I-65, and then East Alabama through around noon. And like I mentioned before, we'll get a little break in the action as far as the rain goes at around lunchtime through early to late afternoon, but then we could have another round of wet weather late Thursday night into Friday. So our severe weather threats for Thursday, really late tonight into Thursday, going to be those high winds, not so much the large hail or the flooding, though. This is a faster moving system, so we're not going to have to watch these systems just stay parked over an area. That's what causes the flooding. So just be prepared for some high winds, but most of these storms will stay below those severe weather limits, and most of that severe weather stays well to our south.
Great stuff, Ashley. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. We did have one comment from Peggy. She is watching in Moundville. Thank you so much for watching, Peggy. She says that she's praying for everyone to stay safe. Again, Ashley definitely broke down everything. As you can see, that graphic really right behind her, really kind of breaking down what we expect to see over these next couple of hours there. And again, you can find all of the information you're looking for by heading on over to our website, cbs42.com. Ashley and the rest of the storm team have put together everything you need to know as far as forecasting and even weather articles there. You can also find some of the other Weather Wednesdays segments that we've done here on CBS 42 Now. And again, I do highly recommend everybody downloading the CBS 42 News app. That way you get live weather alerts sent directly to your phone in case something severe does happen over these next few hours. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us again today for Weather Wednesday.
Absolutely. Thanks, Phil. And
thank you all so much for watching, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. That is this latest edition of CBS 42 Now.